discussed about how do you accelerate your learning process. This is the most important step because we already looked into the psychological factors, mindset and routine, and you saw that improvement. And it keeps on improving as you proceed forward, as long as you keep doing the techniques which have been given to you. So mindset and routine sorted. Now exam presentation at the end. Exam presentation is a culmination. Am I audible, guys? Am I audible? Hari, you are the only one who is saying it. I just want to check if others. Otherwise, it could be an problem from your device. Because last time also you said it. So that's the reason why I'm taking confirmation from others. Am I audible clearly? Am I clear? Rest of you? Okay. Is it helping? Is it helping? Is it better now? Let me start using the microphone. So basically, we're looking into the accelerated learning process, because if you look at exam presentation and revision, we're talking about things which have to be coming into the picture after the syllabus is given. I'm not just talking about 5-time revision. 5-time revision goes hand in hand with syllabus completion. I'm talking about the cumulative revision, which has to happen in April. So the syllabus which you're talking about, syllabus completion is largely linked to the learning process. How are you learning? How fast are you learning? How effectively are you learning? I believe when I looked at how you have written your exams and how you're submitting your PDF MBA across the last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, one thing is very clear for most of you. The learning process is a bit, it's not very effective. There are certain gaps. There are certain gaps in terms of how you are taking inputs inside, how you are consuming information. So that is the reason why probably in the next 2-3 weeks, we are heavily focusing on how fast and how well you learn. So as a first step forward, we had a discussion yesterday in terms of how do you normally learn, and most importantly, what exactly is the metric using which you know whether you learn something or not. That's the question we had yesterday. And some of you said normally what you do, starting from an assumption, or writing a question, or probably trying to remember without seeing it, based on that we'll take a call. So we had different students looking into different ways of knowing whether they learn something or not. So that is something which we are not. And apart from that, I have asked you to consciously do the current day skill. I said current day skill. Whatever topic which you have to study today, have to skip it. It's the exact opposite of previous year revision. Now, what you are doing in previous year revision, you are doing it retrospectively. Once something is done, then you are going back and trying to pull the information. Now, current day skipping is completely prospective. Much before it happens, you're going through that before it happens. Previous year revision, you're writing it after it happens. So we are going with the sandwich model. Before you study, you're quickly skimming through. After you study, you're quickly recalling or quickly writing it down. So that way, whatever you study is protected in your mind. The other day I spoke about memory, right? How do you move something from the working memory to permanent? This is exactly how. So once you start doing it, you'll be able to retain and remember things longer. Okay, so this is the reason, and this is the context of why we are doing what we are doing. Now, before I proceed forward, I want some responses in terms of how you are actually, I would say, how did you utilize current day skimming yesterday? How did you learn differently yesterday based on our discussion? Afterwards, our discussion, I want to understand what has happened so that I can recommend you the next steps. Alvin, let's start with you. Unmute yourself.
Good morning. So, yesterday, before starting the yesterday's topics, I divided each topic according to the different focus blocks: morning, afternoon, and evening. So, before each topic I begin, I started with the current day skimming, like what is in the topic, which is important, and I started with the revision, and then the end. Yesterday for me mostly was not problem theory topics, so just I took like short notes or like whether I could remember everything. So important points around, I was checking whether I could complete it or not. And reasonably, it was I could do it better. Like in theory wise, like important topics where MCQs would come, I could while writing out in the end, last 10 minutes or 5 minutes, I could recollect and write the important terms or important limits while completing the topic. So based on that, each focus blocks, each topic I have completed. So it was little bit effective than the previous day, where some things I couldn't complete, but now by knowing what is the entire limit and how much I could retain for MCQ part, it was better compared to the previous weeks and previous day.
So why do you think it happens? What could be the reason?
So first, it was like knowing how much I should study or the topics available and the particular time limit. So I could like increase or decrease the speed or based on the importance of the topic, I could focus on which topic is important and which topic is not important based on my previous experience with the exam.
Great. So one is the micro planning you're talking about. So although we know a weekly target and daily target, having a sub target in terms of the hours is helping you complete it fast. This is one.
Yes,
What
sir.
else?
So essays was for me in like theory topic, so that was the only thing like improved because there was no practical problem. So for me, that was only the improvement yesterday I could find
No, when
regarding.
you say, yeah, one is the timing part, breaking down the schedule. This is clear. And when you say improvement in theory, what do you mean?
Improvement in theory, like previously for MCQ part, many important topics were not, I could not remember or like I could not recollect. But yesterday's, based on the um because of the micro planning, I could like quote important sections or quote important limits while practicing in the end of the time. I mean, after the revision. So that was the improvement I felt.
Yes, Alvin, see, what we're trying to do is there will be some improvement, but I'm trying to help all of you understand how it has improved or why it has improved. Because, okay, theory, capturing or learning or remembering has improved. Now we're breaking it down. Now, what is the first conclusion? The smaller the target is, the more you break down, the multiple steps you break down, the chances of you completing the target increases. That is something which all of us understood, right? Break it into weekly targets, break it into daily targets, then breaking into session-wise targets, then breaking into focus block slot targets. Okay, next 50 minutes, what are you completing? The more micro the target is, the higher the possibility of it being completed. This is one thing which you understood. Done. Second, when you said you're able to retain or understand the theory topics or remember the theory topics better, including the sections and all. Why do you think it has happened? How do you think it has happened? Because we need to know what caused what, so that we keep picking up these insights and stitch those techniques together, and your study approach is sorted. So which could be different for different people. So that's the reason why I'm making you think. Like why were you able to remember better? What would have caused it?
Could be, I guess, like knowing like okay, this is my circle of study for the period. So which part is which thing, I can like map it or something. So I know which is how much importance I should give, and based on the topics, like based on the importance, I could revise it. So that's the thing, I guess.
Yeah, so you're almost there. Basically, what you're talking about is when you know the scope, the focus
Right.
increases. Let's say when somebody wants to study the whole book, the light is I would say dispersed all across. Now I would say this room has like 4 or 5 lights. I use only one particular light. When I switch this one particular light, it's far more brighter than all the 4 or 5 lights together, because those 4 or 5 lights try to give light to the whole room. Now this thing gives light only on my face. So the point is, focus is also like this. If the focus is spread all across, it will only give you less lighting or less efficiency. So now what we are doing is, we're removing the focus from CA. We're removing the focus from multiple subjects, from group into a singular subject, into a singular chapter, into a singular topic for that point of time. So when your mind knows, okay, I just have to remember this in the next X minutes. So it will help you to focus better, autofocus, better focus, like a portrait mode in your camera, right? What does portrait mode do? It cancels out everything, like a blurred background. Like what does a blurred background do? It cancels out everything, and it kind of enhances the image quality of the subject in the picture. Right? I think that's what both of us are using right now. So that way, we are trying to study in a portrait mode where this particular topic gains the utmost importance. This particular chapter is what we need to focus upon. So if we do this, because of the fundamentals, again, this is not because of the technique, because of the fundamentals using which the technique is built. One is specific, clear-cut, tangible targets, which is micro customized, one, and two, precise focus. Specific target with precise focus, it will be done. Okay, this is exactly how it will be done. How effective it is. Having said that, it'll be a bit loaded for you to do this. It's not easy. It's mentally cognitive. But even if you add that load, still it is 3x, 4x more efficient than what you would normally do. Now, how do we make it easier? Just like every technique, if you keep doing it for X amount of time, let's say for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, you'll start feeling some level of ease. By the time you complete a couple of weeks, it becomes internalized. Now, PDR is easy for you. Box breathing is reasonably easy. Most of the techniques which were earlier external to you, now this will become internalized. This will become very easy for you. Okay, so continue doing it, probably till the end of the month at least. Then we'll have one more conversation, and then we'll see what are the next improvements. Good job. So focus on this too. Okay, specific targets with precise focus. That's it. You don't have to do multiple things. These two things you focus, you'll automatically see the reflection. Clear, Alvin?
Yes, sir.
Harsha was not there yesterday. Who else has tried this? Yes, I need cup too. Yeah,
I watched the mom session on YouTube.
great. So did you try it?
Yes, sir. Yes, I tried.
Okay. Tell me your experience.
So it was like my mind got narrowed down to those 3 hours only. And with current day scheming, I knew the whole track I have to walk on and where to like increase the pace or maintain the pace, in order to complete the targets by the 3 hours. So target.
Can you specifically tell me what targets that you complete and how did you do it differently from the previous day or previous days?
Okay, so it was like I had to attend a 3 hours revision video to get the
Mhm.
concepts. Earlier, it was like if I was done with 1.5 or 2 hours of lecture, then I would be like, okay, I've done a lot. Then a leniency comes in my mind. But
Mhm.
when I knew that this much has to be done so that, further I can complete the targets. So that's where I felt ki current day scheming helped me because I was like, okay, this is the target, it has to be completed now. Or
Nice. Mhm.
that's it.
Perfect. Good. So this is also a solution to most of the things you are having. The other day when we discussed it, especially the general level of focus and the flip which you go through. Now, as long as you keep doing it, your days will be far more tighter than what they are.
Right.
So this also solves the general issues which you're having in two ways. One, it will help you enhance your focus, and two, it will help you to complete more amount of syllabus within the same day with the same effort. I'm talking about the same effort. You put that same effort, but then you'll be able to get better outcome because we're translating that overthinking into studying. So that
Right.
way it will help you. Yeah. Okay. Guys, one more person. Anyone else who tried it, and I would like you to share by breaking it down. It's simple. So when you actually share it, others will understand what to focus upon. The technique is universal, and there are multiple smaller things which can be done. So when you only try and share it, it'll be easy for others to understand.
For me, like when I tried it a day before yesterday, it was for a new topic.
Hmm.
When I go through the pages, I was like, yeah, I got some like idea ki what will be inside the topic. I got some
Hmm.
familiarity, like yeah, this is in the topic. When I actually do this, and I got to know like no, it was that like what to actually say, what the topic actually says. It increases the interest.
Hmm.
And yesterday I do it for the topics which I have done in the earlier attempt.
Hmm.
It has two outcomes. Like for once, I was comfortable in the last attempt, and I do serious of it. It was like, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. I have done it earlier, and yes, 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 this is this, and yes, this have to be done. And for the topics which I have fear from the last attempt, it was somewhat like getting fear again. Like, yeah, I have to do this. I have to do this. But when I do that in the actual session, it was like, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, this was the question I have like seen it sometimes sometime or some minutes ago. So it again increases my interest. Like it was not like when I starting the session, my mind was like, I have to do this, I have to do this. It's not a clear cut image. But when I had to CDS, it was a clear cut image, like I have
Right.
to do this.
Hmm. You're right about it. So you're saying the clarity of what has to be done has increased from a generic sense to far more precise sense. Great.
Yeah, and it decreases my fear. Like it's not like vague. I have to do this. No, I have to do this.
Perfect. So, guys, for all those who have tried it, see, I'm increasing the efficiency and depth of this technique. Now, this is for all those who tried it. Who haven't tried it yet, that's okay. Please try it today the way I mentioned it yesterday. Now, if you see, as I said, the way we operate things at HLS, we are never going to reward arrogance or negligence. As I said, if you not do it yesterday, if you attended the session and still did not do it, after did not attend the session, still she picked it up from YouTube and did it, I appreciate that. And if you attend the session and did not do it, I'm not going to wait for you. But having said that, I want you to go and catch up and please try it today so that you can work upon the next techniques as we proceed forward. For those who have already done it, make one change today while you're doing the current day skimming. While you're doing the current day skimming, use a highlighter. Okay, directly start highlighting what you think is important along with skimming. Don't slow down. Same speed, same process, same amount of time, just 5 minutes for that 1 hour. But then if you see something important, not everything, just something important, highlight. Make sure you don't highlight more than 5 times in a page. Okay, maximum is 5 highlights in a page. That's it. When I say highlight, one word, 2 word, not the whole paragraph. Then you will end up painting the page. So when you're highlighting, just 1 or 2 words, maximum of 5 per page. Whenever you feel like, don't do it for the sake of it. Like have a highlighter in your hand. Okay, just highlight. Or worst case, have a pen in your hand, just underline. So if you do this, you'll be able to spot what is important also. Now, which may or may not be completely accurate initially, but you'll be able to understand by putting in just 5 minutes. You're giving a sense of significance to your mind, saying that okay, when you come back, focus on this. When you come back, focus on this. Come back, focus on this. So I'll keep adding this. This way, your learning efficiency will increase manifold. Is that clear? You guys want to try this today? So how we are going to do this? Most of the conversations in the next few days will be completely regarding this. I'll significantly help you enhance your learning process. Whatever is taking you 10 hours right now will happen in 6 hours. The remaining 3 to 4 hours, I'll tell you what to do. Once we get there, again, it will take some time. Once we get there, I'll tell you, because I want you to make it far more efficient. I want to introduce this module called Read and Write. Every single day, almost 2 to 3 hours, we just spend time on revision and writing. Okay, this is for me to add that module without asking you to study for 13 hours. I have to increase the efficiency. That's the reason why I'm very specific that your efficiency has to be increased before we get going. Rest of the process is same. Like for some of you are writing tests all throughout this week. Some of you are preparing for your individual subjects. Stick to the targets, but make sure you're adding CDS for everything you do. Even if you're revising for everything or anything you do, add this layer of CDS, and that will sort out issues for you. Clear? So tomorrow onwards, one thing which you understood is PDR is your responsibility. The moment you wake up, start filling it. Session starts, doesn't start, does not happen, none of your business. PDR has to be submitted. Ideally, I'll start the session only after PDR is done. And over a period of time, include box splitting also, because we've done it enough number of times for you to do it. So once PDR and box splitting is reasonably done, that is where I can focus on adding some new techniques and improving techniques every single day. Otherwise, I'll end up spending the whole time and energy in teaching you what you already know. Okay, so this is what I want to have. Right now, Manikanta, Kushal, Hari and Vamsi, we are having an outdoor morning session now from, let's say, 6:15 to 9 o'clock. I'll take you to a nature-friendly park. We have one of the national parks here. So KBR National Park, we have it here. It's a fabulous place to stay even in general, but in study there. So all of you, I want you to get ready by 6:15. I'll pick you up. Okay. So others, make sure you focus only on the current day skimming. CDS. Current day skimming is what I want to do. Focus on. Tomorrow I'll have one more conversation. Today I gave you a chance to volunteer and speak about it. Tomorrow I'll pick you up. So you don't have to have a choice but to talk about it. Right? Clear? Yeah. So the agenda is sorted, and be excited about improving your learning quality by the end of this month only. Like we'll increase it significantly over a period of time, but in the next 3-4 days, you'll see a significant change. By March 29th itself, you'll be very, very confident that syllabus will be completed in the March. By February 29th. Okay. Yeah. Have a good day, guys, and follow it completely. Very, very important. Current day skimming, hourly current day skimming. Use highlighter and highlight only 5 or 6 words. This is my concluding statement for the day. Yeah. Thank you.